Who knows? Okay. All right, we're recording. Here we are. Hi, everybody. We're back. And we are fired. Well, I'm fired up. Kelly, I don't know if she's fired up. She knows that I'm fired up, though. So we're going to go through introductions, and then we're going to talk about the title, and then we're going to move on in. So I'm Meg Thompson. I'm a certified behavior consultant. I hang out with, any sort of adult, any sort of kid, with or without a diagnosis, adults in homes, teachers, administrators, and I help kids be at their best. That's what I tell them in my first meeting with them, is that I'm going to help you be the best you can be. And
Meg, I love that.
Yeah, right? Best thing ever. I want you to be the best kid you can be, not the best kid in the whole world, because that's a lot of pressure. And then I do teacher workshops, and use all the strategies based in love, because I refuse to use the fear-based ones, which we are talking about tonight. But we'll introduce Kelly. Kelly, introduce yourself. Take it away, girl.
I'm Kelly. I am a board certified behavior analyst and the owner of Applied Behavioral Happiness. We help parents overcome challenging behavior through skill building programs and play. My background is in applied behavior analysis, and I work with kiddos usually ages about 2 to 10, but I have some teens as well. And we do a lot of how do we take the science of ABA and use the science of creativity in order to create a more loving, caring, and fun way to learn. And one of the things that I love is that not only, Meg, do you and I work with all kiddos regardless of diagnosis, but we come in first day and have something that we say. Because what I say with kids is, I'm here to help you get what you want. That's my whole job. How do I help you get what you want? Because a lot of what I do is like, well, you could hit somebody if you wanted, or you could use these words. That one will work better. Let's try that.
Don't get in trouble if you use the words.
Yeah.
Then there are kids that want to use the words but can't, right? Because their emotional brain clicks on. And I felt like hitting a lot today. So I totally get those kids that go right to emotion, because I went to it today. And our little, are we on a podcast? Our little podcast is called When Two Behavior Worlds Collide. So it is
a podcast these days. Holy smokes. We did the thing, Meg. We did the thing.
We did. And you know what? People like, you should do a podcast. So I did for like a second, and it was with myself, and I had to talk to myself for an hour, which I could do easily, but it's just boring to talk to yourself. They're like, get guests. And I'm like, oh, I have to like schedule, and then I have to like make questions, and then and then Kelly and I found each other, and we are on opposite sides of the behavior world. So she came to me and said, I like what you do. And I said, I like what you do. So let's figure out how we can, ABA is not going anywhere. What I do is not going anywhere. So how do we meet in the middle and make sure that children are at the forefront of our thought? Because it doesn't matter what your title is, there's still people who forget. I'm sure you've been in IEP meetings. You forget, you're like, oh, did anybody remember there's a kid involved here? And he or she's having a hard time, right? So we are on opposite sides of the behavior world. I usually get contacted after the BCBA stuff doesn't work. The ABA doesn't work. And Kelly, they find Kelly because they think probably I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'll get calls after ABA doesn't work too. Like, you're doing it different. Can we try your way?
You're right.
Let's give it a go.
And a lot of times it's because I don't have if you are a BCBA, you've had 4 million hours of some sort of...
Approximately 4 million, yes.
Approximately 4 million. I have not had 4 million, and I have a behavior certificate, so some people see that as not helpful. So we're both needed. Now we have to figure out how to meet in the middle so we can best be loud for love and help kids be at their best. So today is called Rewards Aren't Supposed to Hurt. That's what we called it. We had a lot of names, didn't we, Kelly, that were...
We had a few that were a little on the nose.
we had ones that were like perfect, but we couldn't say any of the words. I just did a video on this I put on my Instagram and my Facebook, and I said pissed, and I was like, I think that's a bad word. I think I'm not supposed to say that word. And I was like, well, if that's the worst I get, because I wanted to say a lot of other ones. So we decided, so our first one was about Elf on the Shelf. Even though we shared it a little bit after Christmas, it still had to do with rewards. So Kelly had come to me and said, why don't we do rewards next? And today the rewards stuff blew up everywhere because I had a whole bunch of teachers that had to do this PBIS, Positive Behavior Intervention Support training, about earning points and having school stores and assemblies and all this point stuff. And I've been at the school that they work at, and I have done workshops and trainings at that school, and they love me. And I say that in quotation marks because that's what they said. I love you. And I was like, great. So then, but now they're doing these things and this training, and it's totally opposite of what I do. So I'm like, I don't understand why I was there and then this is happening. I would rather just still be there. And what did you call PBIS, Kelly? You said it right before we.
Yeah, so I'm not well versed in PBIS. The only thing that I've heard about it, and this is not me talking down about it because I don't know. This is me saying this is what I have heard. It's ABA watered down and not done well. That's the blurb that I've heard. So what was expressed to me when it was brought up is that it's the science kind of dulled and used in an ineffective way. So all the good science that is behind what we do, it's taken and kind of watered down. But again, that's someone's opinion that was given to me, so I can't speak to that very directly. But Meg, I can tell by your face that you can.
I can. So what I thought of when I saw PBS, so I do strategies from positive behavior support, but then somebody like made that corporate or made a curriculum out of it and called PBIS. So they put the I in it.
Gotcha.
So, I always thought PBIS and these reward systems come from ABA. Or an ABA is used primarily with autistic children with autism, autistic children. You could say it both ways. They like it both ways. I don't know. I never know which way to say it because I'm going to offend somebody either way.
I can't say, for I am not on the spectrum.
Right, exactly. So when the neurotypical thinkers say children with autism, and then adults with autism say, we're autistic, just call us autistic adults, it's fine. That's what we want to be called. So I don't want to offend anybody, so I say it both ways. So ABA is done primarily with children with autism. And then it's trickled down because of the success that it looks like it has. It's trickled down into what we now look at as PBIS. So I know that I have a lot of articles, and I think I've shared many of them with Kelly. I have a lot of articles, and it has layman terms, so I can understand, and I can send it to a para, I can send it to a teacher, and they can read the articles and understand and be on board and get behind whatever side you're on. And then I have a friend who really likes research. She really does. She loves to look at it. She loves to read it. And she sends me all this stuff. And I said, it always has to be 20 pages or less because I have squirrels that are drunk in my brain and I can't pay attention to more than 20 words, 20 pages. And she sends them to me. I'm like, send me articles of the ones that support the side that I'm not on. And she sends them to me. I have no idea what they say. That's why when you found me, Kelly, I was like, oh, good, I have an interpreter.
Yeah.
I have a translator. Because I'm like, if I don't understand them, who's going to understand them? The para's not going to understand. I'm in the field and I don't get it. And I read them. Sometimes functional behavior assessments, FBAs, I look at it and I'm like, what does that mean? So tell me what your side of rewards, Kel. Because well, I think people are pretty versed on what I think about them.
Well, I'm excited to have this conversation because I think there's a lot of ways that rewards are used horrendously and harmfully. And I think there's a few ways that they can be used well. And I'm excited. I'm less concerned about where we agree on where they can be extremely harmful. And I'm more excited about that little niche where we can talk about where we agree and disagree on where, yeah, could this be used well, or is this still harmful, or where's the fear and where's the love in that? So I'm super excited about it.
Yeah.
From
Because I think there are most people that do the hurtful reward thing, but there's somebody telling them to do it, or it was the teacher before that did it, or it came with the kid, it came with the package, right? The kid and the stuff came with it. So, and usually people feel bad about it, but but we have to do it. And I'm like, what do you tell? I was telling parents and teachers to quit today. If you all band together and say we're not doing this and we quit, what? They're gonna change their minds. But I don't know how you pay your bills if they actually let you quit.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Then I have to employ them, right, Kelly?
Yeah.
I told them to quit.
Save the world, Meg. Save the world.
I was not loud enough for love today. I was so mad in my workshop, in my video, I cried. I've never cried I wasn't even funny, I don't think. Yeah. I wasn't funny, which is always the case. Because I think it's easier for people to hear a harder message, right? That's why this is fun, because we're both funny, we both have humor. But we are on, our sciences are on opposite sides. You and I, as people, are not on opposite sides. And we wish we lived closer to each other, because we'd be good friends. If we could, not... Where do you live? In North Carolina?
North Carolina.
Yeah. So she's warm. We have 18 inches of snow right now.
I saw your video. Holy moly. We had about 8 inches of snow last week, but that's been our only real winter.
Yeah, well, this is our first big one. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
So we're on opposite sides of science, our businesses, but our personal beliefs are not, right? You were in the first one, you said that you walked away from ABA and the way it is traditionally done because it hurt your heart. And you thought, I might not go back. So I'm interested in that piece of when rewards do work, because I always say they don't work and we're not doing them, but there are kids in situations in which they do work.
Certainly.
So what are some of the situations you see?
So one of the really beautiful experiences that I had, and I spoke about this recently on another podcast I was on called The Helping Conversation. And I talked about the research of Dr. Kunavatana, who I got to work under.
I love his name. Is it a boy?
No, Dr. Shannon Kunavatana.
Is it a girl? Oh, cool. Say it again.
Kunavatana.
I love it. Okay.
And Shannon, please excuse me if I've put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Oh,
wonderful. And she did at her university. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words today.
Oh, well. I have squirrels, remember?
There we go. My ducks are tripping on their flat feet. Did this great research project with two, I believe it was adult males that had never had a communication method. And she was able to figure out which method they wanted to use to communicate. So instead of being like, you're going to use picture exchange, that's how you're going to communicate. I choose for you. As speaking person, I choose for you. She found a way to assess without having to teach a whole, like you're completely fluent, but just teach a few little things to assess what they preferred. And once they chose what they preferred, they went, okay, if that's how you want to communicate, then we'll teach you some more. And in order to do that, they needed to fairly quickly pair, you've asked for something, to the reward of getting it, and going through like, hey, you're working really hard. There are rewards that come from this, to make sure that they could quickly make those assessments on what their preferences were. So they weren't wasting these adult males' time trying to figure out or trying to teach them all this stuff that they didn't need to know. So I'd say something in that moment. And I was able to, with a young child, able to take that research and replicate it under her with a couple of my technicians. And this little child was able to very quickly go like, oh, no, I don't want to communicate with those things. I want to communicate this way, and I'd like that thing now.
Right now, and if I'd like it before now, actually.
Yeah, and it was so beautiful to know that we weren't wasting this child's time, and that we could get them a communication method as quickly as possible so they could get their wants and needs met. And in those moments, I'm like, okay, I see where rewards are good. Do you want to give me your thoughts on that, Meg? I'd love to hear.
So when you said not interested in what didn't work, I mean, why rewards are the bad rewards, because I think everybody feels it in their heart, whether they have to do it or not, we feel it.
Sure.
But what ones do work, and the reason, and I would say the rewards work when you share power and control. In both situations, that's what happened, right?
Yep.
You were saying, I don't want to waste your time with this. I'm trying to give you the power and control to communicate the way you want. So you had to do, and reward systems, people say when they do work, it's short. And then you have to pull back. Well, I just heard today with the PBIS in the school today, you have to do it 3 to 5 years. And I thought, no, not 3 to 5 years. That's just so you keep paying the people to do the workshops. How did someone not see that? Right? That's not, 3 to 5 years isn't a short thing, right? With this communication story, which I love so much, there's that little time when we have to do it so then we know, but the men or the child you worked with have the power and control to make a choice. Where reward systems aren't usually that way. Because, but they can choose to do that. No, because if, right, who said it? Maya Angelou, maybe? If we know better, do better. And kids want to do well. So if they're constantly failing and we think giving them a sticker or a point or something, you think they've been constantly failing so they could get a sticker?
I hear you.
They're constantly failing because they don't have the skill taught. They don't have the need met. Or as we both know, we've talked about this before, Kelly, is when adults don't know what to do, we hoard power and control.
Sure.
So reward systems do work in a very short amount of time when we share power and control. So we can agree on that.
I love that. And
but that also means that it can't be system-wide. Do you agree?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. We very specifically customize to each child, and there are times when you can work within groups, but as the groups get bigger, like my least favorite, and there's tons of research. I've sent you this research. The whole like employee of the month baloney. Yeah. Like that, that's such a great way to go. Like, oh yeah, I've had that, or I've been in that situation. It was like, oh good, yay, Johnny, you're employee of the month, perfect.
Oh, employee of the month. And if you read Daniel Pink, he writes a book. I think he writes a lot of books, but named called Drive. He talks about that employee of the month strategy, or that sales strategy that if you sell enough, you get to go to Mexico or you get to go to Hawaii, and that stuff. Just sets up competition and makes adults feel bad, because you can really want to go to Hawaii and really try, but you might, right? If it's for sales, you're going to lose friends. Maybe you're going to lose time with your family. You're going to, right? Like you're going to get to go to Hawaii at what cost? And that's what I always say. At what cost do you get a sticker? At the cost that the kid has bad self-esteem, or that he, sometimes they get it on accident. To be honest, I've seen stickers happen and the kids look at the adults like, oh, weird.
Yeah, I just bit someone. Oh, okay.
Right. But I didn't find him that hard. I guess I got a sticker. I don't like that they're public. So people always try to switch them, that they work if you make them private. I don't know if I agree with that.
Interesting.
Like if you don't put it on the wall, if you don't put it on a desk.
Sure.
I feel like this stuff came out in the 1980s. It got really big in the 1980s. So that means that was 41 years ago.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure late 80s, early 90s, but I'd have to look back through my research articles.
Yeah. So we've been doing it for about 40 years. I think if it's not working, it's probably not gonna.
I hear you. Might be time to evolve a little.
Right? We have to evolve with it's when spanking came out.
Ugh.
Oh, I still work with some parents at spank.
I would love to do our next talk about corporal punishment.
Oh, okay, I'm writing it down.
Perfect. I have a story for you from
I can't wait.
a scientist in the field that I love. Dr. Pat Fryman is one of my favorite scientists in our field, and he does these amazing presentations. I will definitely send you a video of one where he talks about behavior analysis in a very intriguing way, because he isn't afraid to be like, I'm going to shock you with it, and then we're going to get back to reality. So I
like him already, because that's what I do. I shock people with it, and then I'm like, okay, wait, come back.
Yep.
I didn't mean to shock you that much. Sorry.
One of my favorite stories that he tells is, he goes, you know what? And it's not a real story. Let me start with that. He goes, reinforcers and punishers. So reinforcers in ABA mean things that increase the likelihood of behavior in the future, and punishers decrease the likelihood of behavior. A lot of connotations in English, unfortunately. Thanks, Skinner. But he goes, reinforcers and punishers. You know, if we could just use blow torches and cocaine, we could get any behavior changed. Like if punishers were as bad as blow torches and rewards, reinforcers were as good as cocaine, we could get any behavior changed. But we can't, and we won't. So you better slow down and do it right.
Time and patience, which I say all the time.
Yeah, like if you want to get it done fast, I mean, there's ways, but effective does not mean correct.
No,
Just
right.
Doesn't mean good. And one of the things that our ethics code talks about, I've got it here. We've got 4.10 is avoiding harmful reinforcers, and looking at, do these, like specifically in our code, do these things make the person we are serving their life worse? Is it hurting them? So
food is out.
Yeah, if someone has, say, diabetes and you're giving them sugar treats, or if you're creating,
I think food should be out altogether, whether they have diabetes or not.
Sure, that can definitely be argued for. And just
looking at that, there's a lot of stuff going on there.
Yeah, I hear you. There's a lot of deep things we could get into there for sure.
right. And the hard thing is that we're trying to do fun, fast, and easy. Like obviously the school I talked to today, they're having a problem with the kids. So they're trying to make it fun, fast, and easy to get the kids to behave, or for the culture to have a cohesive culture where kids are kind and not bullied. And I was like, that's not a sticker thing.
Yeah, that's
not a. And blow torches and cocaine, that's so interesting, because I think that when these systems first started, I know this school, when it first starts, the kids are going to be excited about it. I don't take that away from the kids. They're going to be excited about it. And it's going to feel like blow torches and cocaine.
Yeah.
And the problem is when those start to fade away and now it's like blah and blah on either side, we're trying to chase the high of blow torches and cocaine. As adults, we're like, oh, it worked. Remember when Johnny did the thing last week 3 times? But you're still using a bad method, but it did work 3 times, because what kid's not going to try to get something?
Sure.
Right? These points can get you, if you get enough points, you can get $5 off a fast food gift card. And I'm like, no, we shouldn't be doing fast food. Everybody eats fast food. I get it, but that shouldn't be the reward. But what kid's not going to try for a $5 gift card to McDonald's?
The other thing we need to think about is, like, how does a $5 gift card at McDonald's relate to kind behavior?
Because I love you so much, I can't even stand it.
I
don't know.
If it doesn't relate, then all you're doing is creating a crutch. And this is what I talk about with applying reinforcers. And what we do is, if we've got someone with a broken leg or a lack of skill, something like the leg isn't working, we might give them a brace. Are we going to leave that brace on forever? No. As soon as it's healed, we need to start the physical therapy and let's get back on that leg. And reinforcers are the same. Like the brace of a gift card works really well, but you're going to be stuck with that forever because it doesn't translate into the physical therapy of getting better. Like that's not what was.
That's not real world. And what do you do for a 15-year-old that still is having, because I don't believe reward systems work in the way that they're being used in schools. So the kid's still going to have challenging behaviors at 15. Sure. Are you still going to give him a $5 gift card to Dunkin' Donuts? He's not. Nobody's working for that.
Sure.
You couldn't even give a 15-year-old $5.
Mm-hmm.
He's not working for that, right? You're gonna have to buy him ponies and helicopters and race cars. Right? Like I'm just like, right, like, I'll work for a puppy. Especially during Corona there. We want a second chocolate lab. We have one chocolate lab that's bonkers like me. And we want a second one, and we can't find one anywhere. So if anybody live near New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Maine, we're looking for a purebred chocolate lab. Holy moly.
Yeah. A lot of puppy love out there right now.
There is. And I hope that when everybody goes back to work, that the puppies are still okay.
I hear you.
Because I think there's probably a lot of whim buying going on, which is sad. I also think another way that rewards work positively is actually with my temperament. So
Mhm.
my temperament does like the atta girls. So I used to say that wasn't true.
Me too.
Yes. But if I like, so when I play soccer, if someone's like, yeah, Meg, good goal, I'm like, hi. So right now, when I watch, I'm a big sports fan. I particularly like football, but when I watch football, there's
Mhm.
nobody in the stands. And for me, the reward to play a sport for me is that someone's cheering me on. So if I don't have a audience or a crowd, I'm not interested in trying my hardest. And my husband's like, that's not true. And I was like, so I ran track from 6th grade all the way through college. And I
Mhm.
said, if I was on the 100-meter dash starting line, and there was nobody there, because that's how they're doing track right now. They're in
Yeah.
different stadiums. And I'm racing against nobody and nobody is cheering me on. I'd do cartwheels to the finish line. I just don't think that I could do it.
Yeah.
And I think that I would need to reward myself
Mhm.
to try my absolute hardest, but the reward there would be someone cheering me on. Someone else might see something different. So I have a work with a kid. He's
Ooh, I got a thought on that. I want to jump
okay.
back.
Go. I'll write his name down. I remember.
Perfect. So one of the things that kills me about ABA is the both the perception of ABA and at times ABA for real is the you kill the intrinsic motivation of kids. And I'm like, oh, my heart. Because in those moments where it's like that attaboy, that attagirl, you got it, run so fast. Yeah, Meg. That's a really natural reinforcer. That's something that should be there. But when you don't have it, are we able to go, okay, I see you need that.
Mhm.
Before the race, stop and imagine where mom would be sitting and imagine dad. And what color shirt would your brother be wearing? Would he be wearing a silly hat that said Meg that lit up?
No, yes, my
Now
brother
let's
would be.
race. You know, like, okay, now let's go. And we can use, and I'm getting excited now. We can go, oh, that's the reward you need. Let's make it for this particular environment.
Mhm.
Let's go. And the fact that we get so stuck on, and I want to touch base on this too, like token boards and these systems that I got some good stuff for it, I promise.
Token boards make me want to poke my eyeballs out because token boards come after the sticker charts when they don't work.
Okay, I'm writing down token boards.
Yeah, write down.
Story.
Maybe throw up a
I
little bit in my mouth.
want to have a little moment for us to talk about that too. But yeah,
We're gonna be here till 8 o'clock, Kelly.
we're good. We're gonna do this. Yeah, you can take that. I feel this extrinsic need, and you can go, okay, well, what does that mean, and how do I make that intrinsic motivation? And we can use behavior analysis because it's just looking at what's the reinforcer and how do I make it work for me in this situation, and really make a beautiful thing. Or we can get
And
stuck
share
on
power. You're still sharing power doing that.
yes, and I love that sharing
Yes.
power. I'm going to use that. Meg, I want to hear your story. Tell me about this kiddo.
Oh, so my buddy, he's 15. He said to me, I said, so what will, he's very smart. So right now he said the school has been virtual.
Mhm.
There were kids in school. He's been remote the whole year.
Mhm.
So kids went back to school on Monday. And he said, so I've only had to check in Monday and Thursday. And now I have to check in 5 days a week and I'm not going to do it. And you can't like talk him into doing it if he thinks it's useless. He said, do you want to know my rationale? I said, I bet I know. If you did it 2 days and you got all the work done and you're doing well, why do you need 5 days? And he's like, yeah, exactly. I said, so what would you like? What would help you get to 5 days? Because you're going to be marked absent. And then you know the trouble that's going to happen. He doesn't care. He said,
Yeah.
I might work for like tacos. I didn't ask what reward. I just asked like what we could do maybe plan wise or school wise. But he said, I might work for tacos. And then as I was going to say, tacos? How many tacos are you going to eat before that wears off, right? And he was like, yeah, I'd probably only do that once or twice and then I'd be sick of tacos. And I was like, bam. But he thought his first reaction was to reward himself.
Yes.
Still power and control.
Yep.
But it was to give himself a motivator. So there are kids that do that. For me,
Sure.
I try to get my work done all in the day. My motivator is I love to watch silly shows on Netflix.
Beautiful.
But I won't let myself do it in the daylight. I did on my birthday. That's the one time I can ever remember doing it.
Yep.
Because I usually go shopping on my birthday. You can't go shopping. So, excuse me. So that's what I gave myself for a birthday present, is to watch Netflix during the day. But are there times in the day I could sit and take a break and watch Netflix? Yeah. But my motivator is, it has rules around it. If I get all my work done during the day, I can do that at night. But again, it's to myself, because I'm 28 with 15 years experience. 43 really. Right at 43, I know what to, if I eat really good, I'm going to have a donut on the way home or something, right? And
Yeah.
but it's because I know behavior and because you know behavior. But when you're doing it to a kid who just doesn't have the skill, and we start giving them presents or rewards, it's not going to make them learn the skill.
Sure.
Right? So I want to talk about token boards. So my view on token boards is that I don't know how many times I work with people, people who now know me, and there's any sort of sticker chart conversation, they come right to me, Meg, tell me what I'm supposed to say, do, give me the language, write it down. I've written emails for people before to send to people. And when sticker charts don't work, somebody in the school psychologist, the BCBA, the behavior specialist, the myriad of titles, right?
Yep.
Well, okay, you know what? We won't do a sticker chart. We could see it doesn't work. We're going to move to a token board. No, I'd be like, it's the same thing, except you get a token and not a sticker. Oh my gosh, it's still flat. It's still a sticky. Oh, it makes me so crazy. And so I am like, no, it's
love.
Throw them all out the window. All of them. Put them out. And then I say, there's other ways. But people think that I know the one sticker chart or token board or clip down system that works. I'm like in the, what's the really bad part of the internet, the dark web.
Dark web.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is, but there's like a dark Pinterest, and it's like where I go to find the one strategy that's gonna, yeah, like that's gonna work. And that's not true. So I was like, so you have to start with yourself first, and then it's time and patience. Teach a skill, meet a need. I'll tell you where the skills come from. I'll tell you where the needs are. That's I have my master class. I have a course on it. It's 13 hours of work to trade a sticker chart or a token board into something else. And people are like, oh, I just want to, I don't have another. Actually, the thing I do say to people is there is a way, a fun, fast, and easy way that will work. And they're all like this, right? Kelly, there's a seat like, what? Oh my gosh. And it's what we're talking about next time. Corporal punishment.
Yeah.
That's the thing that will get 90% of the kids to do what you ask. Out of fear.
Yeah.
Out of scared, out of being nervous and scared that you've stripped all their power. That as teachers, you can't do that anyway. Adults, let's hope you don't want to do that. But people are always saying, what, right? They know the behavior girls coming in. Take this kid and fix them. And because I'm sassy and feisty, I say, okay, hit him. And then I keep a straight face. And they're like this. And I said, right, we don't do that, right? Because that's not okay. That's Maslow's second tier in his hierarchy of needs. You need to maintain safety, physical, and emotional all the time. So that's out. The hard thing is that now we've switched to emotional safety. So physical's out. We can't hit them. So we're going to mess with the self-esteem and the emotional wellness of kids instead.
I hear you.
So then they just cycle that. So I want to throw them all out the window, but I know that, right? You've given me instances that the rewards work. So I want to know about the token boards. Tell me all about them.
So
I might go get some from the dumpster, but probably not.
Yeah. I'm totally, this is the beautiful thing about Behavior Worlds Collide. Neither of us is trying to convince the other person that we're right or we're wrong.
No.
Which I love. So when I find token boards most helpful is when so let me back it up a little. The way I use them for myself.
Wait, tell everybody what they look like.
Certainly. So they can look a lot of different ways, but the classic way they're going to look is going to be like a rectangle with little places that you put stickers or tokens or little Velcro things. It can be designed a bunch of different ways.
Okay. So it looks like a sticker chart, but we use tokens.
Exactly.
Okay.
So one of the things that that we do, so again, for me as a Kelly, as an adult, what I do is I write myself lists and I check them off, which is a form of a token economy. I put those little checks, they're like little tokens or little stickers.
Feel good.
Yeah. And at the end, I know that I've completed all these things and I can watch my silly Netflix. And as the
You're look at, you're such a good Jack, Kelly.
yeah, thank you.
Because you know how a squirrel makes a list? We go get gas because we've remembered and we're so proud we remembered. We write gas after we got it and cross it off.
Oh, beautiful.
That's how a squirrel makes a list.
Yep. I support your list making.
Yeah, thank you. I get them all done at the end of the day. My husband's like, I got 3 out of the 10 things on my list. I was like, I completed all mine. He goes, you put them on your list after you do them. Well, looks like you're dumb and I'm smart. Sorry.
Yeah. So that is a form like that making a list of things you got to do or putting together a visual schedule and then checking them off or using your tokens to check them off, I think is phenomenal. I think if we're going and we're trying to work on, hey, we need to be able to sit and know that work's going to be complete soon, like we're not stuck at this table forever, having like 3 tokens to be sort of our non-time timer. Like once we get to 3, we're all done. Like this is your way of tracking that I'm almost there and I can do this and I can use my calming methods. And if I need to use my escape word, I can at any time and leave the table. But
wait, escape? What's an escape word?
Oh, something like I want a break.
It's not the F one?
No.
I feel like the escape word would be like, bah! I needed an escape word today. I needed an escape word.
Well, but think about it. If a kiddo's at a
I just didn't know it was called that. I love that. I give that to kids, but I don't ever call it an escape word. That's great.
I mean, call it whatever you please, but
I know, but I like it like that.
Escape, you know, it's like you can choose to be at this table and work with me, but you as a human have every right to leave this table. Let me give you a soft, safe area that you can go to. You can't be, like if it's work time, I can't be giving you a tablet and all your favorite toys. But if you need to leave me and not do this work right now, I totally get it. Like pillows, turn off the lights, draw a picture for you so you have the sound of the Quran going by your ear. No problem. Like, honey, I got you back. So that's the escape. And then when you come back again, if you just got a couple of tokens, then all right, I've earned 1. I've only got 2 more. And just like we do for ourselves adults, like, okay, I've got 2 more things that I need to do, and then I can take a break. All right, I can do this. And it's kind of a way for creating that self-regulation of how much I have to do. Keys to this. How many tokens are we going to earn? Give a choice. Share the power.
And you do see, so I like that idea. It's the tokens that make it hard for me because there's so much connection to it being like a prize. What if you just used a check mark like we would, right?
Yeah, that definitely works. We've got ones too where it's like it's a road and you're putting cars on it, so we can talk about the cars and it becomes sort of a like, hey, this is just
and they move down the road.
They don't even move. Oh, you can move them, but we've got like, hey, you can put the sports car here. Which car do you want next? Oh, you want the brown delivery car?
Oh, got it.
You don't want this. And we can get more communication through and more time practicing that remaining calm while we're working through stuff, and gives a lot of opportunities for us to be like, oh, you really want the brown car? Man, I really wanted to give you the blue car. Are you sure you don't want the blue car? And we can talk about, oh, I think we froze. Oh, we're good.
No, I was just still for a minute.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Oh my gosh, I've never been so still that someone thought we froze.
It's beautiful. Yes. But yeah, you can have those conversations and those things like, oh man, I really wanted to give you this blue one, but you wanted the brown one. Are you sure you don't want the blue? You don't? Okay, yeah, let's have the brown car. And you can work on those tolerance things, like sometimes I have to explain why I want something when, or why this is not what I want. Or if I throw in a unicorn when we're earning cars and they're like, hey, I didn't want that. Can I trade for the other one? And you can use the board for so much more. Yeah, I love a unicorn.
Oh, me too.
You can use it for so much more than just like, here's your token,
and then so with token boards and these reward systems that sometimes are used with ABA, they say, oh, we're only using them for a short time and then we're going to take them, we're going to draw back. And I've never seen anybody do it well.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they have the information to do it well.
That's the problem, Meg. It's so easy to do and continue to do and continue to do. And it's so hard to do right and to fade out quickly and to use correctly. It's really, really difficult, but it looks so easy. So it's used wrong all the time.
Yeah, because I see it, people say, and then you fade it out. And I was like, I've seen this kid. I've been in this school for, I don't know, 4 years. That
Mhm.
kid's still on the same. I'm working with a kid now that was doing the red, yellow, green system.
I'm not a big fan.
No, oh gosh, I am not. I'm not either. And then if he got enough, I don't know, green, maybe he got video game time. Again, video game time has nothing to do with what he's doing at school. But now he's older, and they said, oh, that's not going to work anymore. You're too old for it. So now we're going to do Kirby points. So Kirby is a video game, and now he gets Kirby points instead of red, yellow, green. And this poor kid, I felt so bad because I just did a video on this last week. I think he's addicted to this system. And I tried to change him from that system to the match game, and from him being externally motivated to internally motivated and sharing power.
I love your match game, by the way.
Oh, thank you. It's coming out in like a school form where you get like I have a Azulita is who I'm working with, and they putting it all together and have cards, and they have like the back end of, you can put it on your computer. I don't know.
I love it.
And they went, boo! And this boy, like, I was telling him all the changes we were going to make, and he cried and freaked out behind the couch. And I was like, oh man. And his mom's like, I heard him get upset in there. What happened? I was like, he wants the Kirby points. And it's going to take us a long time to break this system. But he is 9, 8. And his mom's like, he's been on reward systems like this since he's been 3.
Yeah.
So 6 years now. And I was like, well, it's not going to take one visit to change it. And I'm just like, oh man. And I told him, I said, well, Bud, what happens when you're 12? You're going to have Kirby points? And he goes, I don't know what's going to happen when I'm 12. And he will only play the match game with me. He won't do it with mom. He won't do it. He loves the match game, but he's very concrete and planned and inflexible. So he can't just be like, oh, now we're going to use it at school.
Yep.
And I said, and if his work's done, like we talked about the Netflix thing, if our work is done, you can have video games for an hour. If your work's not done, then you're going to lose the video game time because we need to use that time to do the work.
Yeah, pretty simple, straightforward. He needs 9. It sounds like he can conceptualize that, and that the Kirby is a bit of a crutch. That doesn't mean he doesn't love it. It doesn't mean you shouldn't take your time to fade it out. But
I'm taking my time. So the match game is for the little kids is uses my Scoot Newton from the book. So my next thing when I go to his house is I'm going to bring my books and we're going to read them. So he has like a conceptual, like he can see who Scoot Newton are, and he can use the card. I mean, he uses the cards, and when he matches, he's psyched. And when he doesn't match, he has a conversation with me, and he doesn't ask me for points or whatever.
No, that's
but
beautiful.
He just, in a school setting, he just can't wrap his head around it quite yet, because for 6 years he's been rewarded for everything, and he just doesn't understand how that's going to go.
Sure.
And will we ever get there? I don't know. I mean, the first way to change it for him is to start to give him power and control. Sure. Start to talk about, does he think he earned the points? Does he get to have them? And then people say what? Of course, he's always going to say yes.
Yeah.
Or he's going to lie. And I said, but they know they're lying. And you know they're lying. So then you have a whole different conversation about community and leadership and lying. And so, right, again, it's not fun, fast, and easy.
Yeah.
And I've switched a lot of people to the match game really quickly. He is the one that will test my time and patience with, because I really want him to stop with the Kirby points, but I can't. I'm only one adult.
May I throw out an ABA idea?
Yeah, of course you may.
Right. So one of the things that we talk about, and there's a lot of talk in the not a huge fan of ABA community about this, and the word itself that I'm going to use, and I don't blame them. But to take it from the positive side, pairing is when you take something that you're maybe not into, and then something you're into, and you put them together so that the good feelings can be transferred over, to make it really layman. What if Kirby came to play the game with you, to play the match game with you, and then Kirby joined mom to play the match game?
and Kirby. And then maybe Scoot Newton joined Kirby at school.
Yeah.
Oh, they could be a family.
Exactly. Kirby can just join and be a friend. And then you can take the Kirby side and all the good, maybe little frenetic feelings that come with Kirby and tone them down, but take the positive and bring them over. And that might help a little bit with this friend feeling more at ease with the change.
Yeah, and again, and if you use Kirby and he doesn't go for it, it's not a strategy in fear, right? You're like, oh, I was trying to use something to bridge this gap between home and school. And if it doesn't work, then you're like, all right, guess what? I think I'm going to be at the drawing board a lot with this boy. And you know what? And I appreciate it, right? I'm like, oh, he's not going as fast as every other kid I've ever switched with. It's like 1 or 2 times.
Yeah.
And they change right away. And I was like, oh, he's going to make me really have to think and plan this out and use time and patience. And we have 5 minutes just to let everybody know, because we're trying to only keep this to an hour, because Kelly and I could talk for 7 and then nobody will tune in, Kelly.
I know. They're lost.
Right? So I know that on my end, if you watch it, I can give professional development hours.
Awesome.
So we were going to do that on the first one. I think we didn't, because we kept it to like 25 or 30 minutes. And I don't know how many people were going to ask for half hour professional development.
Yep.
If you watch the other one and this one, you get an hour and a half. And do we have anything else we were supposed to say?
No, just again,
you're the duck to my squirrel.
I'm just so glad that we can come together and have these difficult conversations. It's not hard between us, but the fact that we're coming from such different sides of things and we're able to bridge.
The sides are hard though.
Yeah. And well, we're kind of the Kirby in this situation.
Oh, we're the Kirby.
And it's I'm so glad to be able to do it with you and to be able to see people from both sides and other angles of the behavior world coming in and interacting with this video and talking with us about what we're talking about and sharing it with other people, because I think it's going to make things better for kids. And that's what matters.
Oh, I definitely think so. And I think sharing the audience too. So a lot of, I wrote something about reward systems or something the other day, and I was feisty about it, of course. And I tagged somebody, a BCBA, because I want them to see my side, right? And if they say things I don't know, I come to you and be like, Kel, I don't know what this word is. What's this word? So she's like, I don't understand why you tagged me. Because I thought you might want to watch the video. And she kept going on. And I had emailed you or texted you or whatever. And I was like, I might need your help here. And then she said, no, I'll watch the video. But now, so my side, when I see BCBA, I used to be like, oh, and your side, like, you don't know behavior because you're a behavior, I'm a certified behavioral consultant. Kelly worked way harder for her behavior certificate than I did.
Yeah, it's different, but that doesn't make it wrong.
No, but I think that people, because we're together, and I think we're the only two doing this in the whole entire world, that we're now sharing the audience and we're getting people to see, think, and act differently, which was your goal and my goal all along anyway.
Yep.
It doesn't mean we have to agree on everything, but it means that we have to put our intense feelings aside. And I think probably I have more intense feelings than you do, to be honest.
No, my duckies are just good at keeping their feathers pretty flat most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, coming forward.
The ducks I have a lot of ruffled feathers. And I love that we get to share an audience too. So the BCBAs will come my way. The people that don't understand it will come your way, and we can sort of meet. Isn't that a song? Meet in the middle. I think we did that last time, didn't I?
We did. Yep.
Look at me. I should learn more words than the meet in the middle part. Wait, didn't you know the words?
Yes, I did. Am I singing it again?
No. You know what? We're gonna entice people to watch the first one.
Yeah, if you want to hear,
me sing poorly and then Kelly know the words, go back to Elf on the Shelf. For the love of Elf on the Shelf. This one's called, what do we call it? Rewards aren't supposed to hurt. And and rewards are supposed to share power. We should.
I like that.
Maybe can we switch the name? Wait, rewards. You want to say rewards are powerful because, but then we don't want people to get the wrong idea. We'll just keep it to what it's at.
Yeah, and y'all listening, you know.
Y'all.
Comments.
That's what happens when you go
Share
south.
the
a little
power.
bit. Yeah. Okay, we did it.
We
Holy
did.
moly, we did it. Okay, we're gonna sign off, and I'm gonna unrecord. I don't even know if that's
Beautiful. Goodbye from the duckies.
bye from the squirrels.